Alright, so this shit is really getting old. It's really getting old. Hi, hey, I'm Arianna, and today I'd take a break from kind of my studies. What the fuck is my hair? I thought I would take a break from some of my studies that I've been doing remotely. And kind of give you a list of books that I am going to try and read throughout this quarantine self-isolation process, which is going good, but it's proving a little bit more difficult than I thought, but we'll persevere. Today I'm going to give you some titles that I plan on finishing or just starting during this process. It is a little bit of a list, and some of them are thicker than what I usually go for, but they're books that I've really wanted to read for quite a long time now. So without further ado, my posture. Without further ado, these are the books that I plan on reading throughout my COVID-19 quarantine time. Also, I look like shit, but I'm not going outside the house, so I'm not wearing makeup. And I'm about to give you an unrealistic list. Period. I'm not going to go through all of these. So the first, which I've almost finished, is Circe. I have that much left of Circe, and boy do I have some thoughts on it. Not necessarily on the writing or the plot or whatever, just the fact that it doesn't really have a narrative structure to it. Like Song of Achilles, it's the recount of a tale, obviously, and it's a legend, but at the same time it has like a beginning, a middle, a rising action, a falling action, and an end. So that being said, it kind of has a structure of some sort. With Circe, I've noticed that I feel like I'm reading a biography of Circe. I thought, especially, like, it doesn't seem that long, but when I was reading it, I thought it was going to hone in on a specific idea or a specific happening that happened within Circe's life. I personally thought it was going to be about the Battle of Troy and like what she was doing during that, but it's literally her life from beginning to end, which is fine. It just wasn't as exhilarating as I thought it'd be, but it is such a beautiful book and the writing is really great. This isn't a review video, but to be read is like 40, maybe less, like 30 more pages. So next is a book that I've wanted to read for a while. Probably just gave it away, but it's The New Silk Roads by Peter Frankopan. What is this about? Basically, it kind of, I don't know what this is about. I'm just going to come out and say it.
I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
I am very interested in the Silk Road, though. It used to be the main trading route from the country that my parents are from, and I've heard amazing stories about things that have happened on the Silk Road, and I know that this also links it to the modern times, economically, politically, socially. So I'm excited to read that and see what that's about. Font is massive, margins are big. I'm happy about that. I haven't had that in a while, so I'm excited to read this and kind of see what it touches on. A V.E. Schwab book, Vicious. I am so excited to read this. This might be the next book I read after Circe, actually, probably, most likely. I've heard amazing things about the Vicious series. This is the adult fiction, I think. I got mixed up. I don't know whether A Darker Shade of Magic is adult fiction, like adult fantasy, or new adult fantasy, or mature YA. In my previous video, I said mature YA. That is the genre Goodreads showed me. That is the genre a Google search showed me. But I've watched some other reviews since, and people have said different genres in all those reviews. So I'm just gonna go with what I said. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This, though, correct me if I'm wrong, once again, is an adult fantasy or fiction or something like that. So I'm excited to read this. I'm excited. And Vengeful looks really, really good as well. So I have that book as well. So I am very excited to read this. This probably will be the next book I read after Circe because I'm so excited to read it. Yeah. So, speaking on V. Schwab, I think the next book I would want to read is A Gathering of Shadows. Read A Darker Shade of Magic. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. And it took me a while to get through, longer than it should have, to say the least, but I still want to stick with it. I really believe in this concept and this plot, so I'm going to go ahead and try and read A Gathering of Shadows. It's not the book I'm jumping to read. Probably it's on the list. The next book that I probably won't fucking read, but I'm gonna put it on the list because it is oh my god, this is a fucking joke, as if I would read this. As if. So the next book I have, did you see that? This is longer than any book I have on my shelf. That's including Sarah J. Maas books, Order of the Phoenix, Magician. This is bigger than any of those books. This is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It's a modern classic written by Susanna Clarke. I love modern classics. I read Song of Achilles. I read Suspicions of Mr. Witcher. And I thought I would give this one a go as well. I thought this would be a really cool book to read. This is very, very thick, so I probably would be reading another book whilst reading this one, which I'm not mad about. It's fantasy. It's about magical powers. This gives me like really cool vibes. I do think I really want to read this. But it's basically a battle between two men whose obsessions and dabblings with the dark arts will cause more trouble than they can possibly imagine. Are you joking? That sounds so good. That sounds like The Night Circus, and I'm ready to read it. So that's definitely on my list. I don't know how I'm going to go with it. If it's boring, I'm going to be so disappointed, but I'm definitely going to give it a try. Now, there's one more book that I want to read. The last book on my TBR, I'm actually dedicating an entire video to with my good friend Copal. We're going to buddy read this book, which I'm sure everyone has heard about, and it is A Little Life. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I mean, I feel like everyone knows about A Little Life. If I'm being honest, I don't really know what it's about, but I've heard lots about it, good and bad, and I want to read it for myself. I've heard, the main thing I've heard is just that it's a very emotional and graphic, some would say, but also very emotional and explorative. Excited. The font is fucking tiny, and it's a very long book, but I plan on reading this as well, probably a little later down the line. 100% on the list. We'll come to it soon. But yeah, those are the books. Oh, you can hear the thunder. That's probably why the light changed a bit. But those are the books I plan on reading for however long this fucking quarantine shit is gonna go for. Yep, that's that. I'm gonna go get started on this, hopefully make some progress on it, and let you know. So, yep, I think that's it. See ya.
I'm in my bed, you're not here.